issue of racial equity not just an issue for any one department of government. It has to be the business of the whole of government. We'll, for the first time, advance equity for all throughout our federal policies and institutions. Communities who have been long underserved and overlooked. People of color, Americans with disabilities, LGBTQ Americans, religious minorities, rural, urban, suburban communities facing persistent poverty.
White House advisor Dr. Anthony Fauci gave new guidance Monday that one of the best ways to curb the spread of COVID-19 is to go from wearing one mask to two.
If they have scientific proof that they can actually show me that it actually is and there's no repercussions or anything, any kind of side effects on my part for me wearing a mask.
Maybe we need to produce some masks that have a little bit more layers, but not so much thickness, but a little bit more filtration, perhaps.
I think what he said does make sense.
Just in what she terms as high-risk situations.
When you're at the grocery store, when you're where there are more people around, if you're traveling, if you go to the doctor's office, then it's probably a good idea.
Police in Portland, Oregon are investigating a hit-and-run driver accused of killing an elderly woman and injuring at least 5 other people during a 15-block rampage. Authorities say the man finally crashed the car and tried to flee on foot, but neighbors there surrounded him until officers could wrestle him into custody. Speaking of Portland, tonight Portland's Democratic mayor is defending his decision to pepper spray a man who confronted him about not wearing a mask while dining in a restaurant. Ted Wheeler says he feared for his safety. Chief Correspondent Jonathan Hunt is in Los Angeles with the story tonight.
Your order to disperse immediately.
For nearly 9 months, as Portland has endured protests, riots and the pandemic, Democratic Mayor Ted Wheeler has been front and center, the face of a city in turmoil, tear-gassed by federal agents as he stood with Black Lives Matter protesters, later criticized by some of those same protesters for not doing enough to tackle police reform. Criticized too for strict pandemic lockdowns, targeted by others for not doing enough.
You having a good night on the town? You enjoying yourself? I think you need to do your job as a mayor.
That was on January 6th as the mayor was dining out. By this past Sunday, it seems the mayor had had enough and apparently fought back. There is an audio recording of the confrontation, but no video that we have seen as yet.
We were 6 feet apart, we were eating and drinking.
Wheeler told police he was confronted by a man outside a restaurant and berated by that man for not wearing a mask inside the restaurant. At first, the mayor tried to explain that it is not required to wear masks while eating at a restaurant. The man continued to argue. Moments later, the mayor, according to a statement he made to police, pepper sprayed the man, whom the mayor alleges was getting very close to him and not wearing a mask.
You just pepper sprayed me for no reason at all.
Former Portland Mayor Sam Adams, who was with Wheeler, argued with the man.
He asked you to back away and you didn't.
Mayor Wheeler has said little publicly about the incident.
I filed a police report, and that's all I can tell you right now.
Mayor Wheeler has consistently supported the rights of anyone in his city to protest, but has also said he condemns violence in the name of any cause.
The federal government also owns an enormous fleet of vehicles, which we're going to replace with clean electric vehicles made right here in America by American workers, creating millions of jobs, 1 million auto worker jobs.
This is all ideologically driven. This is not based in good governance. This is not based in anything that is important or necessary for the day-to-day lives of the American people right now. They use this very, very long timeline so that they can't be held responsible for the expense, the loss, the frustration, the downside right now. The downside will be apparent right away, but hey, they're trying to get to a whole different world, man. The Chardonnay socialists who care much more about species of eagle that they've never seen or of, owls that they'll never actually come across in the wild, or perhaps a small fish, as in the case of the Delta smelt in California. Go check that one out if you're really curious how wacko the Democrats are.